Welcome to Daylight Saving Time. We will begin our service with the ringing of the bell and the lighting of the Christ candle. We ring the bell and we light the candle to remind us of the divinity that is the truth of our being. So you will find the opening statement on the inside of your bulletin. Let's repeat that together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And sit with that truth for just a moment. And now let's repeat that once more. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. So it is. So our songs this morning are led by Ron and accompanied by Jeff.
Good morning. Would you please stand? We'll sing Surely the Presence right inside of your front cover. Surely the presence.
Surely the presence of our God is in this place.
watching on Zoom. We so appreciate you sharing your energy with us today. For announcements right after the service, there will be an after party that is in the church Zoom room. That ID is the same as the church phone number, and the password is 1111. In that same Zoom room on Monday night, there is a Course in Miracles. Whether you are new to the Course in Miracles or have been a student for many years, or maybe you're just curious about the Course, everyone is welcome. It says they gather together each week to pray, meditate, read, discuss, and practice the Course together. And that is led by Reverend Kimberly. On Thursday night, there is a book study group that meets in that same Zoom room. That's at 8 o'clock. And this coming Thursday, March 14th, the Board of Trustees will meet down in the activity room at 5:30. And we have an energy medicine class coming up next Thursday, the 21st. Do you want to say anything about that, Beth? Or, okay, here, you need a microphone for all the people who are watching electronically.
Thank you. We had our first energy medicine class the week before, and we had a great turnout of 11 people. And we learned Donna Eden's way of practicing energy medicine. And it's to get in touch with the energy within your body and what you can do to make your cells feel better. And so we'll have it on the 21st at 5:30. So if you want to come 10, 15 minutes early. And we're actually, going to do exercises, tapping. A lot has to do with your acupuncture points. So it's a great way to get together and practice some love and energy.
I was there. It was a great class. So looking forward to the 21st. Now, next Sunday after the service, we will have an affirmative prayer workshop downstairs. This is entitled Discover Your Divinity Through Affirmative Prayer. And that is based on a book by Reverend Linda Martella Whitsitt and Reverend Deanne Morency. And those books are available in the bookstore. You do not have to read the book beforehand, but if you want a little taste of what will be presented, you can pick up one of those books. I've got a sign-up sheet here because we are going to serve lunch, so I'm going to pass these around. If you've already signed up, you don't have to sign up again, but pass these around. I will tell you, we are catering the lunch. Qdoba is providing a lunch, so we will be having a nacho bar. So with chicken and beef and rice and beans and all those good things. So anyway, I hope you all will be there. And I think that's all the announcements I have, so I'm going to turn it over to Sky.
Thank you so much, Janet. Good morning. Welcome. Bienvenido. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan starts on Monday. Namaste, aloha, buongiorno, and kalameta. The light in me greets the light in you. I am in good breath today. I hope you're in good breath as well. Thank you. My name is Sky Kirshner. Thank you for letting me be your pastor, storyteller, guide, and friend. And I want to welcome you to Unity of Kanawha Valley live and online. Thank you for being with us from wherever you are. Our new Members Sunday will be in 2 weeks. Our tradition is to do that on Palm Sunday. Easter is in 3 weeks. Right, yeah. So if you're interested in becoming a new member, let me know. We've got some applications online and as well as on paper, and we'll get you started. The grief group is planning on meeting after church on Sunday, so so if you've been struggling with the loss and you'd like to join us, we'll start at 12:30 somewhere up here, and we've got the after party. Everybody here knows that Unity of Kanawha Valley is a special place. We come together to celebrate love, spiritual experience, spiritual wisdom in its many forms. Unity promotes the idea that the light of God, the spirit of love, is within you, and that by practicing going within and resting within, you can discover this love within you. When you find this love, you become a fuller expression of this love out into the world. You don't have to do or say anything special to earn this love or to be worthy of it. It's already inside you. It's been there all along. You don't need to be born again to find this love. You were born fine the first time. This love is at the source of all life and love and everything there is in the universe. If you came here today to learn the spiritual practices of love, you're probably in the right place. I hope so. We have a cafeteria philosophy. Take what you like, leave the rest, whatever helps you to be more loving. Today, we're celebrating the idea of being held by invisible hands, held in invisible arms. Affirmative prayer is a central part of what we're about here, so let's do that right now. Would you soften your gaze or close your eyes? Let a smile come to your face and notice how that feels in your body as you let yourself smile. And would you say to yourself, I am being held right now in the arms of love. I am being held right now in the arms of love. I can rest in this love. I can rest in this love. And if you would, imagine you are sitting or standing in front of someone you love or someone who loves you. You might be separated from them by geography or by time. Imagine looking them at the eye, seeing them looking at you eye to eye. Let your gratitude for them fill your heart and say to them, thank you for loving me today. And if you would, give yourself a nice big stretch and a nice big yawn. Tegan, would you come up here, please, and help me? Tegan is dressed like a cat today. She's got her Barbie, meow. Oh, sorry, meow. The Barbie cat's going to help me. Okay, would you all stand, please? And we're going to stand on right foot. Pick whichever one you want. 10 seconds. Marianne, little lamb. Good job, Tegan. All right, and the other foot. Oh, yeah. This is what David does. He likes to go down. Oh, now we're just, oh my gosh, unbelievable. Would you turn to the person next to you and find somebody who's sitting alone and say to them, thank you for loving me today. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving me today. Good morning, Marianne. Thank you for loving me. Thank you. Harry, are you doing together? No. At the end of my meditation, also into this, we are very grateful. Unless you need a virgin. I want to thank each of you for being here today. I want to thank you for loving me today. Your being here today is part of the world that we're creating. Every small thing you do today makes a difference in your life and in the life of those around you. What you do, what you don't do makes a difference. What you let go of and what you hold on to makes a difference. What you love and what you release makes a difference. Who you love and who you release makes a difference. I want to thank the universe, God, the source of all life and love, for another day on this amazing journey. And I want to thank everyone who's made this service possible, especially Pam, who was my medical liaison. She fielded all of the texts and emails and phone calls about how I was doing. So let's give it up for Pam. I'm so appreciative for you taking that function. In closing, I want to encourage you to spend some time in silence every day. And I want to remind you that God is our source. The pen is, well, let's go left-handed. The pen is in your hand, and a new day is dawning for us all. So let's spend some extended time in silence, appreciating the present moment. You might begin by noticing the sounds in the room. Adjusting to get more comfortable in your body. Wow. The cars driving by outside. The settling here within the room. You might notice your breathing. This miracle of exchange. This complex balance of pressures, of vacuums, of muscles opening, lungs expanding. This exchange that happens between the air in the lungs and the blood. This amazing circulation throughout our body of what our body needs. And in this exchange, this release out into the world of what no longer serves us, but what serves so many other life forms on this planet. Jesus, the Jewish mystic, said, "Seek ye the kingdom." The kingdom is in your midst. It is at hand. It is among you. And it is within. And so we go within to ponder this mystery that what is inside us is bigger than the container that holds it. We know this to be a place of prosperity and sufficiency, a place where we can experience that we have enough and we are enough for this moment. This is a place of healing and acceptance, a place where the cells in the body, when they are unimpeded, are able to do exactly what they were designed to do. This is a place of relationship, connection, forgiveness, and reconciliation. And this is a place of guidance. This is where the still small voice still speaks, where we notice that the signs are everywhere. And we still ourselves to appreciate these little whispers from love, these whispers from the universe. All is well, and all will be well. And it's from this place that we reach out to anyone, anywhere, in any need or trouble. Those who are running for their lives, those who are hiding for their lives, those who are trapped or imprisoned, those who are cold, hungry, without shelter, without food, without medical resources. We remember those struggling with depression, those struggling with addiction, those struggling with an illness, those struggling in painful relationships, those struggling with loneliness. We know that God's love and God's presence is spread out equally throughout the world. And we know that the awareness, the consciousness of this presence is possible. At every moment, in every situation, to every person, without exception. And for this, we are grateful.
Good morning. Before reading today's word, I'd like to mention that the author wrote this as an affirmation. It has to do with meditation, and I have never achieved achieved timeless silence as it's described, and as Sky mentioned this morning, although I've practiced meditation since 1992, monkey mind gets the best of me. The subject is timeless. In timeless moments, in the silence, I discover myself anew. I relax and let go, withdrawing my attention from my surroundings. Breathing deeply and rhythmically, my mind relaxes and my heart opens. I enter my sacred inner sanctuary. Here, I have no awareness of time. I hear no words. I think no thoughts. I feel no separation. There's only the richness of silence, the awesome presence of infinite life, love, and wisdom. I am one with its presence. The time and attention I devote to my regular practice of meditation builds deep, abiding peace and clarity in my consciousness. In these timeless moments, I discover I have all I need: enough strength, understanding, love, and time to progress along my path and accomplish all that is mine to do. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Revelation 21:1.
My life rolls on in endless song. Above earth's lamentations, I hear the real, though far off, hymn that hails a new creation. No storm can shake my inmost calm. To that rock I'm clinging, since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear that bell ringing. It sounds and echoes in my arms. How can I keep from singing? No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? Peace of Christ makes refresh my heart. Fountain ever springing, all things are mine since I am his. How can I keep from singing? No storm can shake my inmost calm, while through that rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing?
Well, thank you, Ron and Jeff. That was beautiful. Ron shared with me some of these church announcement bloopers a couple weeks ago. There's the gift that keeps giving, it seems. Miss Charlene Mason sang, "I will not pass this way again," giving obvious pleasure to the congregation. For those of you who have children and don't know it, we have a nursery downstairs. Irving Benson and Jesse Carter were married in church on October 24th in the church. So ends a friendship that began in their school days. And if you're a Garrison Keillor fan, I'm sure you'll enjoy this one. A bean supper was held on Tuesday evening in the church hall. Music will follow. So put your hand on your heart, please, and repeat after me. This is my heart. Through it, I am connected to my neighbors, to my source, and to myself. I'm learning to trust it in all things, and I am grateful. Amen. Well, I am certainly grateful for all of the good wishes while I was in the hospital. Thank you for all of that. Pam passed a number of those on to me. And I had an interesting experience in the hospital. So I'm lying in bed last Monday morning. I had a cough. Saturday, it sounded like a kind of a wheezing cough. Maria and I had gone on a long, like a 4-mile walk. Everything's fine. This cough the wheezing had me kind of curious, and I wondered, well, maybe do I have some walking pneumonia? I was feeling kind of run down, and that was Sunday after church last week. So, and then Monday, or 2 weeks ago, on Monday, I'm lying in bed. Maria's left for work. I'm lying there, and all of a sudden I hear this snap, crackle, pop sound coming from my lungs every time I take a breath in. They call it popcorn lung, because it sounds like pop. But every time I take a breath in, there's this, you remember Rice Krispies? Snap, crackle, pop, there's that exact same sound. I was curious. I thought, oh, that's really an interesting sound. It doesn't sound good, but it sounds curious to me. So I'm like seeing if I can make it louder. Well, every time I do that, my lung is collapsing. That's the sound of your lung collapsing. So wasn't exerting myself, just lying there. And I went through the rest of the day. I thought, well, I want to get this walking pneumonia thing checked out. I have no idea what that was with the snap, crackle, pop. But so I called the telehealth. They said, you need an x-ray. I went to urgent care. They took an x-ray. They said, your x-ray looks fine, no pneumonia. But there's something going on here with your lung. It doesn't sound like it's doing as much as the other one is. You need to go to the emergency room. Did I go to the emergency room? No. No, I don't like them. I don't want to wait for 15 hours. I went home, had a meal, told Maria they want me to go to the nursing home. She said, okay, I'll take you. So she takes me. Nobody's there. It's like, oh my gosh, the heavens opened up. I got right in, got amazing care, did an x-ray, they did a CT scan. I'm feeling better and better. They come in with the CT scan, and they say, we got your results. I said, that's great, I'm ready to go. No problems. And then they show me that picture that I sent out where like half of my lung is missing, right? It's like this one's like nice and full, and this one is like closed. And I said, okay, maybe I won't go. So that was the beginning of that 3-day journey. Many of you have been through much worse than that, but this was my first experience, in a extended stay. And at some point, I think the next day I thought, oh, I probably ought to let folks at Unity know, and wouldn't it be nice to let the prayer chaplains know? And then I realized I didn't feel like I needed to. Because through the whole experience, I was feeling lifted up and supported by invisible hands. And I wasn't feeling in a need for prayer. In fact, weirdly, I imagined and I thought of you all lifting me up and praying for me, even though you didn't know I was in the hospital. It was like a preemptive prayer image, or I don't know what to call it. It's like I was imagining you knowing, and I was imagining you all lifting me up. And I thought, well, that's kind of neat. But I let Pam know, or I sent out an email and let folks know, that not where I was, but that I was going through this thing. So this is, I thought, an interesting experience, that I was feeling lifted up. I wasn't feeling in a need. I was feeling full, even as I was there. And it reminded me of, do you remember Bell Telephone before they broke it up because it was like a monopoly or something? And they had this hallmarky commercial, reach out and touch someone. You remember that one? It's one of those, I always would cry when that commercial would come on, because like it, and the people calling up, their loved ones. That was back when there were long distance charges. Do you remember this, right? Right, rotary dial phones. But it's an interesting idea to reach out and touch someone, because you're not actually touching them. That's 10 years away from now, right? In 10 years, you can touch somebody through the phone probably. But what are you doing when you reach out and you connect with someone over the phone? That's kind of an amazing, psychologically, that's a really interesting idea, that you can touch someone with your voice. Well, how does this happen? How does this happen that even though we're 2,000 miles away from someone, you can hear their voice and you can feel comforted by them? And it probably starts when we're very young. If you think about what it means to be held, what it means to be held physically, right? If you're a little baby, or if there's a baby in the room and the baby's crying, I could call the baby up and say, hey, it's okay, but the baby isn't gonna take in my words, right? It can't take in the verbals. I could walk into the room and the baby's crying, I could say, it's okay, right? But that baby's not gonna stop crying. What's that baby need me to do? Touch it, right? I have to go over and physically hold that baby. If that baby gets enough touch, that baby can then move on to the next step in the capacity to be alone. And that would be, if the baby's crying and the mother walks into the room, or a caring person walks into the room, that might be enough. Just seeing that person physically in the room with you might be enough, right? this thing about being held is really important when at Women and Children's Hospital, especially during the crack. But even now, there's still babies that are abandoned in the NIC unit. And we've got people who come in, and what do the volunteers do? They volunteer to rock the babies. Why? Because if a baby isn't held, the baby's going to give up. We call that failure to thrive syndrome. That baby, all the food in the world is there, this is medically clean, everything's fine, but that baby will probably die because it doesn't feel welcome. It's an amazing system in our brains that if we don't feel welcome, we figure we may as well not stay here. That's what failure to thrive syndrome is. I don't feel loved as a baby. So if I get enough touch, these babies need to be held. That's an important part of their nurturing. If I get enough touch and I'm feeling upset and somebody I love walks into the room visually, oh, that's good. Okay, now I've internalized the idea of being held, so your presence is enough for me to feel comforted. I can remember, I'm an only child, so I can remember at various points the next step is, can I take in nurturing from the sound of a loving person, from the sound of their voice? I remember once I was somewhere in the house playing, and I could hear my mom in the kitchen, making those kitchen sounds, and then I didn't hear any noise for a few minutes. And what did I do? Right? If I was scared, I could get up and seek her out. Oh, there you are, okay? But at a certain point before I got scared, and at a certain point in my development, I said, Mom, are you still there? She said, yeah, I'm here, right? Or, Mom, are you still there? And there's nothing, and then I go searching through the house, and she's out hanging the clothes on the laundry. You remember rotary phones and she was busy. Right? I'm playing, and then all of a sudden I need what we call emotional refueling. My emotional gas tank is only so big. I can only take in so much loneliness, kind of like Harry was saying, this silence thing, my monkey mind kind of kicks in. Well, my emotional love tank was only so big, so when I was hitting empty, I'd say, Mom, are you there? Nothing. Oh, now I'm going to go searching for her. I don't know if you have this with your dog, but sometimes I play hide and seek with my dog. It's so much fun. She doesn't know that I'm playing, right? I don't tell her, I'm going to go do this. But, if she's quiet, I'll go into another room and hide behind a door. And she's within 60 seconds, she knows I'm where am I? And she'll go, and Maria will say, is Daddy playing with you again? That Daddy is so mean. I love to do it before bedtime. She hasn't discovered that I'm behind. I've been doing this for weeks. She still doesn't know I'm behind the door. But dog owners, this sense, right? The dogs, it's love tank, the emotional fuel tank is at zero. Where are my people? Go out seeking it. This is normal human development. It's common for all of us mammals, dogs especially. We do need someone with skin to show us that we're okay. But once we're full of that experience, we can move on to these more abstract things. We can see how many people carry pictures of loved ones on your phone. Right? Why do you carry pictures? It's not the loved one, right? But seeing the picture reminds you of that relationship, right? Hearing their voice. I still have all of my voicemail messages from every Unity member that we've lost over the years. I've got, 10 or 20. I can't delete them, right? Sometimes I listen to them. I hear their voice, and I remember that relationship. My first panic attack, has anyone else had a panic attack? My first panic attack was related to this. I was going to a boarding school in Maine, the state of Maine, and it was like Thanksgiving break, and my father, who lived in Portland, Maine at the time, was coming to pick me up. the next day after vacation started. So I was going to spend the night alone in the dormitory. You know, Stephen King kind of stuff, yeah. So, that's the way it felt. I remember standing or sitting on my bed, looking out the window, watching my last colleague, student, getting picked up, and I realized I'm all alone in this room, in this building. I thought I'd be fine. I thought, oh yeah, no problem. My buddy said, nobody's picking up. I said, yeah, I'll be fine, no problem. You know, the Lone Ranger, you know, manning up. Yeah, just 3 minutes later, I'm in a full-blown panic attack. Oh my God, right? I'm all alone here. I didn't even have thoughts, and my body just freaked out. I went running through the dorm to see if anybody was still there. Luckily, one of the headmasters lived in one end of the building. I was like, oh, thank you. You know, it was like, but it was like, it was completely unexpected to me. I had no idea how small my capacity to be alone was. I had no idea how small my gas tank, my love tank was. I have a friend who grew up, he was sick with, I don't know what it was, tuberculosis, or they thought he had tuberculosis or asthma, but where he grew up, they would send him away to a sanitarium, right, a tuberculosis thing up in the mountains, get fresh air and things, and he'd be separated from his family for like 1 or 2 months. And the family used to come and visit him. You know, he was alone there with all these other kids. It was like a temporary orphanage up in the mountains, and he'd be alone. And it was a very difficult experience to be separated like that. And at the age of and it happened several times, and one of the last times it happened, his family came to visit him, and he still had another month to go. And he said to them, please don't visit me, because it's so hard when you leave and I can't go with you. I'd rather just tough it out for the 2 months rather than you come halfway through and then me have to watch you go. And it just brings up this horrible feeling inside of me. My not wanting visitors at the hospital this time, I didn't want visitors at the hospital. They were coming in, poking and prodding, every couple of hours. I'd never seen so many doctors. It's a teaching hospital, so all these residents and attendings are coming through, like there will be a gaggle of them come through, and I'm not sure if they even were talking to one another. There was I'd have to retell the story over and over again, and everybody would nod and poke and prod. I got tired of explaining. Has anybody been in the hospital and you get tired of explaining the same thing over and over again? But the thing that was most noticeable to me was I didn't feel alone. I didn't feel scared or panicky. I felt this presence. To feel loved is to know that somebody has your back. To feel loved is to know that somebody has your back. 45 years ago, my ego wasn't able to know that. I was pretty clingy in my romantic relationships when I was young. If, this is before cell phones, but, even before answering machines, but I would call the person I was dating, and if she didn't answer, I was beside myself. I couldn't imagine that a friendly thing was going on. I imagined, she's out with somebody or something like this. I was very clingy, a very clingy dater, which I'm sure made me not so much fun. I would be clingy. That would push the person I was interested in away, and then I'd be crushed, right? I was in this loop, right? I see people nodding, right? Once when I was in college, we were having this spring festival, and there was this Frisbee contest, and I've been a Frisbee player all my life, and you had to throw Frisbees, you know, into a target or a bullseye or something, and I did well, and like, I was in like, I had a high score, but there was something that I was involved with the festival, so I had to leave there, so I went and did this other thing that I was obligated to do, and later on I discovered that I got second place in the Frisbee thing. And they said, and yeah, you won something. I said, really, what did I win? They said, I don't know. My girlfriend was there, and she didn't say, oh, I'll take it for him. It was like, oh, crush me, right? It was like, ouch, that really hurt. Love means knowing that somebody's got your back. I really wanted somebody to have my back, and it hurt when I discovered that wasn't the case. Today, I'm happy to say I don't feel as dependent. I certainly don't feel as clingy. It has helped me enormously to have somebody with skin on. I like my wife's skin. It's this nice skin. But the trick, I think, is to be able to take the love in and hold on to it, the invisible parts of the love. I've had to, over the years, kind of plug up the holes in my love gas tank. I used to have situations that filled my tank up, but I had so many holes in the tank, it would just drain out so quickly. I feel these invisible hands of love. I feel surrounded by light and by love. For me, saying that is not just words or an intellectual belief. To say I'm surrounded by light and love is an experiential statement. I'm experiencing it right now. I experience myself surrounded by light and by love. And I'm convinced that it's by hanging around here at Unity that I've come to this experience, that the holes in my tank have gotten plugged up. Healing is knowing that you're loved no matter what, that you're held up no matter what, that someone has your back no matter what, that you're surrounded by light and by love no matter what. In the book of Acts, the author says, in God we live and move and have our being. It's like this giant, we're just swimming in this ocean that's God. So we live and we move and we have our being in this ocean of love. Carl Jung, some of you have seen this movie, this interview with Carl Jung, and at the end of the movie, the interviewer says to him, so do you believe in God? And do you remember what his answer was? He said, I don't believe, I know. Right? He's referring to an experience. It's not an intellectual belief. Eric Butterworth wrote that unity isn't about having the right beliefs about Jesus. Unity is about finding, unity is about following the spiritual example of Jesus. The same spirituality that Jesus practiced is what we're trying to practice here. And I think this is the essence of that spirituality, to know that we're walking in a sea of love. I think Jesus knew that he was loved no matter what. He knew that the universe had his back. He knew that he was never alone in the world. That's what having a Christ consciousness means, to know that you're never alone in the world. I sometimes underestimate the courage it takes to do this, but when I think back on my panic attack in high school, when I think back on my early dating in college, I recognize what an achievement it is to be able to take in love in an invisible kind of way, to not require the person to be there for you physically, but to be able to experience their love in an invisible way. I know that this experience can go through it at any moment. I'm only 1 or 2 catastrophes away from being thrown back into or having some new holes put into my tank, but I want to celebrate right now the fact that it's possible for any one of us to develop this ability to hold on to the idea of love, even when the situation seems not to be supporting it. I would see these TikTok videos. As a skier, I get a lot of the skiing kind of videos, and every now and then there's one of these videos where there's a kid hanging from a chairlift. Little kids can slip through the bar that kind of holds you in, and usually there's an adult that grabs them, and they're holding on for dear life, and they're there for 10 or 15 minutes holding them, and what's happening on the ground? People are getting a net out so that they can catch the kid. And it's and then there's this discussion that goes on between the people in the chairlift and the people down below, and the people down below are going, "It's okay, we got you." And the person looking down says, "I'm not so sure," right? And then they have them drop a mitten or something to make sure that the net is in the right place, because it's hard to kind of figure out where the right place is. And then you see these videos where the kid drops and they caught them. And it's for me, that's what it is to be a member here at Unity. It's for those times when I don't have it myself, I can come in and I just have this sense, you got me, right? Go ahead and let go. We got you. And we're here for each other in this same kind of way. I know that many of you are beyond me in terms of your spiritual practices, in terms of your sense of being able to hold love within your heart, even when circumstances are not supporting it. I want to thank you for being my patient elders, my net holders. I've been learning to be at home with myself, but it's taken me a while. So I want to say that the hospitalization was a wonderful experience because throughout the time, I felt held by you. I felt that you had my back and you've got me. I want to close with a daily word from several years ago, which is my favorite and the one that I say almost daily because it seems to apply to every situation, and it certainly has helped me plug up some of my love tank holes. I let the love of God flow through me now. Divine life, the life of God, is always present everywhere. It is the energy that maintains my physical body in perfect balance. Even when I'm ill, in pain, or under stress, divine life, divine love is always active, always seeking more a complete expression through me. When I feel a need for healing, I gently let go of any thought of illness, pain, or stress, and I give my full attention to the energy of divine life and divine love within me. I bless my body, and I thank it for serving me. As I turn my attention inward and focus on the rhythm of my breath, I become aware of the vibrant energy of divine life active everywhere in my body. I feel this love restoring me to a natural state of wholeness. I let the life of God flow through me now, and I know that I am loved. Thank you so much for letting me bring this message to you. It's wonderful being with you. And in closing, I want to say, may you know that you and have the awareness that the road is rising up to meet you. The wind is at your back. The sun is already shining warmly on your face. The rains are already falling softly on your field. And until we meet again, may you know that love is holding you in the palm of love's hands. Amen.
Thank you, Sky. if the ushers and the prayer chaplain would come forward. It is so good to have you back, Sky, let me say that. And we are a tithing church. This month, the tithe is going to Unity Worldwide Ministries.
Let us say our offering blessing together. Divine love, moving in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give love, I trust God, and I am grateful.
It's a great Peter Mayer song that we always need this. Jesus spoke, entreating them to live together in a great circle of love. And while his followers asked him then who should be included, Jesus said, let everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle, everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle. That's not it. Okay, thank you. And oligarchs and tyrants try to keep somebody in and everybody else outside. Till the revolution sweeps the land and the people all stand and the common folks cry, let everybody in, everybody in, everybody in to the circle, circle, everybody, 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 everybody into the circle, circle. Sometimes a circle is a class or a creed. Sometimes a circle is made of only men. Until Susan B. Anthony says, what about me? Let me in. So everybody in, let everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle. Everybody, 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 everybody into the circle, circle. Sometimes a circle is a privileged thing, expanding people. We start again. I'm having trouble reading my words. I'll try again. It makes sense this time. Some people, the privileged thing, excluding people for the color of their skin. Until the voice of Martin Luther King says, let freedom ring. Let them in. Say everybody in. Let everybody in. Everybody into the circle, circle. Everybody, 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 everybody into the circle. Come on, Jeff. Gay or straight, rich or poor, whole or broken, open up that door. We'll all become. After all, we're all one. Bring in the people, and don't stop there. Bring in the fish in the sea and the birds in the air. Bring in the rivers wide, the mountains tall. We're all together, but not at all. Everybody in, let everybody into the circle, circle. Everybody, 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 everybody. Everybody into the circle, circle. Everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle. Everybody, everybody, everybody in, everybody into. Come on, one more time.
There it is. Let us join together in this beautiful moment as we give thanks for this beautiful, loving atmosphere, the beautiful, loving folks who are Unity of Kanawha Valley. We give thanks for these many years that Unity has been a glowing presence in the Kanawha Valley. And we give thanks for all the people who are inspired by this loving kindness to go forth into their world, sharing that fabulous love that has no end. And so it is. Amen. I'm the prayer chaplain today. I'll be in the back of the room for a prayer after the service. And if you'd like to form that circle we've been talking about, let's do that now.
Let everybody in.
I know we have 2 birthdays. Rich Hopkins is coming up on Wednesday, and today is Sandy Blair's birthday. Yay. And I see Jane, you have is your birthday? And tomorrow is Jane Smith's birthday. Yay. So let's sing happy birthday.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. And I'm looking at the YouTube. Rich, can you take that off, or shall I?
I've already muted them.
Oh, okay. So we're
on top and put it right close to it and get you a chain and put it around the pipe.
okay. I'm not sure what all's happening, but anyway, so Rich, we aren't being recorded.
We might still be, just a moment.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to.
Yeah.
take.
Chris is new and I'm trying to help and so forth. So
It takes a village. So,
Sometimes it does, yes.
right. So, well, I'm sure that one of us will be able to take an